Welcome.
Back.
We back. Tony's Table Talk, man. Season 2, episode 5.
Yes,
we
sir.
on the nickel, man. Feels good. Feels good to be back home, so to speak. Double home for me, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, episode 5. We ain't been around for a minute, you know, we ain't part in a while.
We've been around.
Yeah, that's why I had to switch it. Yeah, no doubt. We haven't partied in a while, you know, since what? Easter?
Right before Easter.
Day before. Oh man, a lot's happened. A lot's happened in that month.
Yeah.
Man.
A lot of positive.
Tony's birthday. I'm sure our viewers saw the special tribute that we put out there. That Dad's put out there. Hey man.
That thing had me all choked up, man.
Big time,
I'm
man.
serious. Hit me out of nowhere. I just hearing that music and the dopest part about my nephew. That young man had a smile on his face going through all. That's amazing to me. Bro. When I look at it and I think about it, it makes my little things I complain about. It goes away. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Hey, real talk.
It hit me when he was doing them sit-ups, man, for the karate, man. And that's just like, yo, cuz ain't stopping. Like, keep going. He's a warrior, man.
True.
Oh, man, the fight within him, bro. Oh, man, glory.
And I'm getting choked up right now. Just, you know, thinking about it, man. Just, you know, from the time he came into this world, you know, I remember just flying, trying to get to the hospital and, you know, talking to my wife. And then she was in labor not in labor. She was pushing. She pushed for 2.5 hours, you know. So that was unbelievable for her to, you know, have to do that, and me being there to support and watch her. So he came into the world. He came from the kingdom, and he came into the world with 2 loving parents, you know, and that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. But then not only that, you know, the pictures of the family that came down and you know, holding him and just showing him love. So he left from one kingdom where his father was loving him, and he came into this world where there was nothing but love for him. Amen. And that's incredible to me. And you know, to watch as he grew, as he was growing up, you know, his little brothers coming, and you know, him, you know, developing and getting ready for preschool and going off to preschool, and then, you know, middle school, then high school. It was a lot to watch and to see and to reminisce, because, you know, I think that's how it's going to be when we get to the kingdom. You know, we're going to be able to see our entire life. We're going to be able to see it all, you know, because I've been listening and watching things because, you know, seeking for more information. And, you know, they talk about the dimensions. It's been proven now that there are 11 different dimensions. Now, understand that we are only in the 3rd dimension. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And it's been scientifically proven that that's what it is. So, you know, and in every dimension, it's a little different. Like, we're just 3-dimensional. You understand? We're 3-dimensional. And I don't know all the things that happen as you continue to go up to the next dimension, but it gets even more where we would say that's unbelievable. How could that happen? But see, we have to understand, we got to know that we're not at the end of the food chain. We ain't at the top. There's something, there's more than us that our mind can't comprehend right now. And because you would automatically understand that, because if there's a God, our mind can't be it, what we know. Right. Because he's God and he knows everything and all things. So there has to be more than what we know. That just makes sense. Right. So, but I say all that to say, when we was watching the video, you could see his life as he grew up. And I believe that that's how it's going to be once we get to the kingdom. We'll be able to see our life and what we did throughout our entire life. So it gets real deep, because everything that we have on this earth, it came from somewhere. It came from the kingdom. Like we use things, and things happen in this world that came. We got the idea from. I'll give you an example. Us as human beings. Look how our eyes are forward, our ears are on the side. Okay, our heart and our brain is like the engine and the thing that makes the body go. Okay. Well, the car is the same way. Look at the car. Look how it's made, how it's built. All right. It's the window, the mirrors are on the side where you can see the engine to make the car go, the gasoline, which is the food of the car. So when you think about that, think about a bird, and then think about a plane. See, man is only copying what he's already seen God do.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That, and if you understand what I'm saying, if that makes sense to
Innovation.
you, right? But we only getting it from what God already created,
no doubt.
What He already made. I was sitting and I was looking at a tree that my father-in-law planted some years ago, and I noticed it today because there was leaves that was coming off of it. And I was just sitting there and I was looking at it, and I said, man, those roots probably grew down into that dirt real far where it is right now. And the tree knows when to come back to life, because this tree had nothing on it. It was just branches. And today was the day that I noticed that there was leaves on the branches. You know what I'm saying? And then I started thinking, like, we're all meant to grow. Everything is meant to grow.
Hey, chill,
Everything.
Hey, chill, man.
Yeah,
Hey, the reason it ain't grow because the light wasn't hitting it. You
Oh.
need that light. You need that sun.
The SON or the SUN
you just
or
can't-
both. Hey, hold on. Hey, that's a new one we just got. I gotta hit it again.
Yo,
Hey.
so put yourself in that situation.
Yes.
Right.
If
Yes.
you in the dark with no sun, you ain't gonna grow spiritually. Hey, man, that's the
Everything is meant to grow.
Absolutely.
And everything that's meant to grow has inside of it already.
What it's meant to be.
It's already inside of you, man. Oh my goodness.
That's heavy.
Nah, that's super heavy, and it's good, and it's inevitable that we're going to grow, and it's just a matter of, like, what are we going to grow into?
Right. But see,
you know what I mean?
But see, I heard this yesterday. Shout out to Big Brother Miles again. I heard this yesterday, and I hope I say it right. God already knows what you're supposed to do. He already put it in you what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And it's already done, but it's up to you
to
to
it.
do it though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a seed that gotta be cultivated. The seed is what it is. You know what I mean? Whatever that seed is meant to be, it's inside everything that that is bound to be one day, but it has a formula to it.
Yeah,
You know what I
there's
mean?
things that has to be ingredients that got to be in the picture.
Absolutely.
There's a process that has to take place.
Right. So that's why it's so important if you want to grow in life, there's no way you can really grow in life if you don't understand who you are. That's why it's so important to read your word and know who you're meant to be and who He called us to be. Because
purpose.
what are you going to nurture? You're going to cultivate something,
Right.
hopefully anyway. But something's going to transpire to something. I ain't gonna say you're gonna cultivate it, because cultivation is like intentional. But if you cultivating something, but you don't know what it is, bro, what's it gonna turn out to be? You gonna be, hey, not every plant needs sun.
Hey,
Not every plant needs the same amount of water.
Right.
Not every plant needs a certain amount of soil, a certain type of soil. There's different things that different plants need depending on the seed. Depending on the seed, what it is, it needs a different formula. So if you're taking care of a seed and you don't know what it is, you ain't gonna treat it accordingly. That's when you ain't attached to that's when your heart's not aligned with God. And we know when you talk about, stand within the vine. He called, he being the vine and we the branches. We gotta remain within him. We gotta be rooted within him. And that's when you grow at an ultimate level where it's like you gonna become everything you was meant to be.
And that's
nothing less, nothing more.
Man, that's so deep what you just said, Brother Dez, because it brings me to our senses. When you say the vine and the branches, the Spirit gave me our brain, as far as our senses, our brain is the vine. Our seeing, our touching, our tasting, our feeling and smelling is the branches. People got it twisted because they don't even understand that your brain is the most powerful sense that you have. Because when the enemy attacks you, what he gonna do? He's gonna attack your brain, which is your most important sense, which is gonna affect the
everything else.
So what powers the brain though?
So the divine. What he was saying, and this is where I was. Let's jump back here in a second.
There's a lot there.
because what he was saying and what I got from that was, okay, it's another one of those double entendres. When you talking about the vine, okay, the vine is Christ, right? And us human beings. We are the branches to the vine. Right. But when you talking about the individual body, the brain is the vine and the senses is the branches. Right. Yeah. So I'm correlating those two in my mind and how they work. But to get the branches of the branches, all right? You understand what I'm saying? To get the branches of the branches. All right? To get the branches of the branches to work, the vine has to talk to the vine. That you got the vine here, got to get the vine, the real vine, which is Christ, Yeshua. He's the vine. Right. And we got to get that vine into this vine because that vine controls the branches, which is us. And then this vine controls the branches, which is our senses and our seeing, our touching, our hearing. That's just so deep because it's so powerful, man.
Deep because if you ain't, now the enemy can infiltrate your mind and your thought patterns. And when that happens, it creates doubt, it creates fear, it creates every kingdom aspect that ain't of the kingdom.
Because whatever is in the vine, it's going to be in the branches.
Right.
So now, if the vine ain't in the vine, the enemy could come in and get in the vine. Yeah. And now, once the vine is infiltrated with impurities, guess where it's going to come out? Through the branches.
Yeah.
You wonder why it's murder? Well, it started with anger and hatred.
Yeah.
Here, in the vine.
Go deeper real quick, bro.
Go ahead.
The root. Let's go to the root.
Ooh.
The heart.
The root.
The heart. The sub level. As a man thinking in his what?
That's that
his
soul.
heart.
Now you get into a big soul.
Yeah, I mean.
So hold
on. Get gooder.
So now we gotta say we ain't talking about. We gotta clarify this. We're not talking about this beating, pumping thing inside of your chest.
Right.
No. We're not talking about that because in the word it says, "As a man thinketh, where
in his heart."
Can your heart think?
Right.
No, not this heart. This fleshly thing that's pumping in your chest. That can't think.
Right.
So what can think though? Your mind. Your soul.
Yeah, your soul.
That is the heart of a man.
Right.
That's the heart of a man. We got to make sure that's clear.
Absolutely.
Because as a man thinketh where? In his heart.
In his heart.
So is he. And that brings me to this manifestation. You can manifest these things. You can manifest your own healing. You can manifest the life that you want. And see, we're not taught this. They don't teach us this because, and when I say they, I'm talking about the media, the school system. They don't teach us that we can become whoever it is that we want to become. They suppress that. They suppress that because they want to control. They want to control us. So what do? They don't educate us. They indoctrinate us. It's an indoctrination and it's so subtle. It's subtle and it's like Now it's a fine oiled machine now. It's running smooth. Like
Right.
It's almost like we indoctrinate ourselves. We do it to our children. We talk to her, whatever we're taught. Come on, what are we taught? Go to school, get an education, get good grades, go to college, get a job, work for 30 years for somebody else, then retire and probably gonna die and not even be able to enjoy the retirement money that you've been putting away all these years.
And that's your life.
And that's your life. No, that is not the life that our Heavenly Father created for us to have. Absolutely not. We have been confined, we have been conformed, we have been indoctrinated and dumbed down. And what Tony's Table Talk is doing, we trying to open people's mind. We trying to get people to think king, where you can be whatever it is that you want to be. You have to, we're following our Father and we're following the Holy Spirit, but at the same time, there's things that you have to do. You have to do because you're the person that's on this earth. And I was reading about these affirmations, and they said if you say something for 21 days, I'll use an example. Let's say I'm having knee pain, and I want to get rid of the knee pain. Okay, so now you write down. You write it down. You write down whatever it is you want. My knees are healed. My knees are strong. My ligaments are good. And you say these things throughout the day. Not just once, but throughout the day. You don't have to go crazy with it, but just when it pops in your mouth, I'm healed. My knees are healed. And then once you do these things and you say these things, they say for 21 consecutive days, something happens. Something happens inside the body. It's almost like you're tricking your brain to do what you want it to do.
You are.
Because you're affirming these things.
Speaking it to fruition.
It's because of the subconscious, bro. And I read like multiple books on the subconscious. James Allen, Joseph Henry, John Maxwell, very good reads. And that's because your subconscious mind is not aware of reality. So whatever the subconscious thinks is what it, or whatever you tell the subconscious is what it believes. So if you believe whatever, that's why affirmations are so important, and not being aware of who you are and what your power is, because it's not going to associate reality with what your mind thinks up here.
Yes,
it's only going to go off what you feed it.
Well, hold on.
You know what I mean,
but that's because our reality has been shaped and formed by outside forces.
Right. So that's the problem.
Right. So the outside forces has shaped the way we think and the way our reality and the things that we perceive. Like me saying we could change our body. We could change our DNA. We could change the DNA structure in our body. That is foreign to people. People wouldn't believe that because that's not what has been taught and promoted to us.
Right.
It's like a bird, bro. It's like a bird that's a pet, and you keep the bird in a cage. You keep the bird in a cage, a 4x6 cage. So the bird is not going to be what the bird is supposed to be. The bird is confined to the cage. The bird is supposed to be out and free and flying, but you're confined. That's us.
Yeah, so think about that. That's crazy you brought that up. I had a conversation with a loved one about this. Think about put ourselves in that analogy you just said. That's why they have projects. That's why projects was made to confine the less fortunate in a box.
Socially.
So now you growing up in this box, so you're not thinking outside of the box.
Because you thinking about what you've seen in the box your whole life.
Reality.
Man.
So that's
deep, man.
Cause listen, that movie, The Matrix, fellas. Hey, I keep going back. I keep going back to it.
But where we have to be in this place and space now that we realize that once a bird realizes, use us as the bird. Once we realize our identity as being able to have flight, and the cage is now open, we got to take flight. Because I think sometimes we sit in the sit still of, okay, the cage is open now. We know, for one, it's awareness of first knowing that you were caged up, and then once the doors is open, it's like you could train a bird probably 20 years. It might not even try to leave a cage because it's been in there all that time, like snakes and everything.
Yeah.
So, but that's where we got to be the one to take flight once it's open, because just being a bird who's like, okay, I'm free now, but not taking the leap of being free.
Because that's scary.
It is scary. It's supposed to be.
That's
scary.
That's when Moses freed them.
I was going there.
People.
Right.
Some boy said,
Egyptians.
"No, I'm cool.
Let's go back.
Yeah, I'm going back, bro.
Right. Yeah.
You gonna go back to be a slave?
Yeah.
That's deep.
It is, but it's freeing at the end of the day. And we know the truth is so freeing that it's the truth that you know, but it's also the truth that you live. Because even knowing the truth ain't good enough if you don't apply it. Knowing the truth, and it hurts so much more, in my opinion, to know the truth and to not live it.
Yeah,
It hurts so much more to know this cage is open, and I'm just standing there. And you watch other birds fly around, or you just know the fact that you are what you're supposed to be.
That's where the anger and the hatred and the envy and the jealousy, that's where all that comes from.
Yeah.
It comes from there. Right. Because if you, hey, I was listening, I forget who it was, but they was talking about dudes that make it in the industry, whether it's rap or sports or whatever, that they don't go back. They don't go back to their hood. They don't go back there, and people look at them and say, "Oh, you a sellout. Why you ain't going back?" It's a lot of hatred and envy when you go back to where you came from, because other people, if you make it, that's gonna make other people look at they self differently. They really gonna be upset with themselves because they came from the same area that you came from, but you made it out and they didn't. So now they still stuck in the same environment, and they looking at you and you made it, and now here come the jealousy. Here come the boys get murdered. Boys get murdered when they go back home. Yeah. There's been a lot of people that made it, or who became successful, or what the world calls success, and then goes back home. And then the first one that pops in my mind is Nipsey Hussle. You know what I mean? He had some stuff going on back at where he was at, and I don't know all the story and all the background, but he was still where he grew up. He went back, and he had a store or something that I think he got shot and killed out in front of his store.
In front of it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just when you to go back to what you said, when the cage is opened up, but there's a lot of things. First, maybe a bird don't know it could fly because it never flew because it been in the cage the whole time.
Yep.
And then the fact of what you said, in that bird's mind, this is it for me. This is all there is for me.
Settled.
So
there's nothing more.
If I go outside of this cage, what I'm gonna do? Where I'm gonna go?
Hey, that's probably how Adam was when the spirit left him.
Yeah.
When the spirit left him, after being with him the whole time, and all he knew was the spirit leading him and telling him and guiding him, and then the spirit was gone. God was gone.
Whoa.
You in this whole world, this whole earth, and your leader, the person who been with you since you knew you was you, is gone now. Now it's like, what do I do? No wonder they sewed fig leaves together and tried to cover themselves up. God said, "No, here, I'll make something for you that's more suitable, since now you know what you know." But just that fact, man, and I think we talked about this in a different part, but they said that, and this is where we are in human history right now. There was a guy was talking about he had a cow, and a farm with a cow, and he made an electrical fence so far away so the cow could go so far, but then once it gets to the electrical fence, it would get zapped and it would know it can't get through there, and it would come back. So the cow did this multiple times. Then it got to the point where the cow wouldn't even go to where he knew he would get zapped or shot. So then the cow had calves. Now the calves didn't even go nowhere near where the electrical fence was, because the DNA of the cow was transferred to the calf while the calf was still in the cow. Man, listen.
The trauma, yeah, it's passed down.
Bro.
That's real.
Hey,
that's real. And you even
man.
see it in the Bible. You see it with Nimrod even building the Tower of Babel. When you think about it, him being Noah's descendant and him having that, that trauma and that fear of not reaching heaven and of God possibly flooding the earth again and, just wanting to take things in his own. He did that out of trauma for real when you think about it. Like when you read it, and it's not sad so, but it's an assumption and it's a very calculated one if you ask me. And stuff like that, and we're seeing it, from generations. We see generational curses because the trauma lives there, and you don't know until you know.
Right.
Until you know, you can't do anything. But that's why once we know, we gotta put it in an application because knowing is not enough. We have, and we're in the age of knowing. Yeah, we're in the age of information.
Right.
You could get anything, any access. You can get it honestly.
Yep.
But what you going to do with it once you get it?
And that's it. Because it's knowledge, understanding, and wisdom.
And so absolutely. And when you talk about the affirmation, bro, you talk about, doing that for 21 days. The reason why that's so beneficial is because you're practicing and instilling something into your subconscious. But also it's the belief thing again. So obviously we know how Jesus works and how God works. You got to believe it if you want it to happen.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He ain't just going to make it happen. He ain't healed nobody who thought they could be healed. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when you think about that and you think about, that consecutive 21 days and still in that habit and then still in the fact that I actually believe this. We hear, when we think about religious, we hear about you got to practice your belief. That's real. You have to practice what you believe, or the belief doesn't grow. It doesn't manifest into nothing. You know what I mean? If you don't put practice, if you don't put the practice behind the belief, it's never going to grow into anything else. It's that seed again. Yep. It's that seed again. You know what I mean?
Everything is supposed to grow.
You feel me?
It's supposed to grow, but you got to put it in the right environment for it to grow.
That's good.
Right? You got to put it in. You said it earlier. You said it earlier. There's some plants that grow in the desert where most plants wouldn't be able to survive in the desert. Sure. There's some plants that only grow in the rainforest.
Yep. But our Heavenly Father ain't put them plants no place that they wasn't built to
Come
thrive.
On, bro. Come on, bro. Yeah.
Which one is it?
I lost. What you looking for?
That one.
Yeah.
That one. That one.
Shots fired. Yeah.
Hey, you put everything. He puts you in the soil that you supposed to grow in.
That's good,
He put you in the soil that you supposed to grow in.
You know how we go. I'm just listening to y'all. Soaking it up.
We all get. That's how I love this stuff. That's so deep when you think about that, because that's why you can't judge nobody else.
You
can't judge them for, for the soil that they in, for the plant that they're becoming, for whatever. Everybody got a purpose.
How long it's taking them to get where they get to where you think they should be.
So bring some encouragement to anyone who out there struggling. You're going through your struggle for a super strong purpose that's positive.
Absolutely.
Other people might not be able to go through what you go through and still carry out the fulfillment from the kingdom. They might have folded. So just embrace it and seek more. Get more understanding and seeking and a better relationship. So now you going through the turmoil you might think is turmoil, but really it's just shaping and it's molding you to do something so magnificent for the kingdom that other people ain't built for.
You built for it.
Built for it.
Yeah. That's what I get me hyped.
And I have to put myself here. Okay. Because of this.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Because of him, man. That's soil, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that soil getting put in that soil. Hey, man, who want to go in that soil? Don't nobody want to go in that soil, man. Nah. Not with your fleshly mind thinking, but when I start thinking about what my brother Jace just said, now too much whom is given, much is required. Well, it must be something big, because that was big.
Yeah.
That was huge. That was the biggest thing that could happen on earth. In my perspective,
I'm gonna say is. I ain't even gonna say was.
You
still going through it. It ain't over.
No,
you go through it on a daily basis.
Right.
So it's current. It's is. But guess what?
Right.
You out here doing what you supposed to do for the kingdom, the best that you can.
That's it.
And we'll never be perfect, but he sees the effort. That's what he want to see. He want to see obedience. He want to see sacrifice, and he want to see effort. Those three things, you can't go wrong. But you ain't gonna never be perfect. But you gotta strive for perfection.
Absolutely.
Your soil ain't my soil. My soil ain't your soil. But some of the soil is still the same. They felt some of the soil that I felt.
Heavy.
They feel it.
Man, heavy.
They been around. They been a part.
Just because I'm the uncle, I break down still.
Sure.
But guess what? I reflect and I look at my nephew, and I'm so grateful for our Heavenly Father lending him to us because he changed my life. He helped save my soul, man.
Second that, bro. Right
Yeah,
next
I mean,
to you, bro. Right next to you, bro.
Real talk.
Right
So
next to you.
Man.
when I look at his life and the sacrifice that he made, which was his earthly sacrifice, was him being taken from us.
Come on, bro.
And also the earthly sacrifice of the pain physically every day that he had to deal with. That right there, that sacrifice,
that's a whole
that was
nother level.
That was a burden that he had.
That's a whole nother level. That sacrifice.
He was built for it.
There it goes.
He was built
but
for
he
it.
was built for it so people could see the light through him. So now once, like a boy like me, I'm getting chills. Just seeing him, still smiling though. Like he was really, out of 100 kids, he was the happiest kid, but he was going through the most.
Wow.
So when I look at that, it's like, oh man, that's amazing. That's straight from the kingdom of heaven when you see it with your eyes.
Absolutely.
So when you see it, you gotta accept it, and you gotta weed out the complaints, the little dumb stuff that's going on with you. Man, that's nothing compared to what other people go through. So appreciate and embrace the positive and don't focus on the negative.
And that's encouragement to everybody because we all got problems out here, man. Some more, some less. And but we all got the same God, though. Our problems differ, but our God's the same God. His power, his might, all that is the same. So don't think whatever he do for somebody else, he can't do for you if it's meant to be. Because sometimes it ain't meant to be, but he can and he will if it's according to his will.
Or it might be not yet.
Sure. Yeah.
It might be not yet.
Right.
You it's in your spirit and you thinking about it and it's put there for a reason, but not yet.
Be patient.
Not yet.
Just be patient. Listen to the spirit. Be still. But when he tell you to go, go.
Hey,
right.
Man, we talking about so much. We talking about freedom. We talking about being caged and being slaves right now. And we all are to the system that we're in. You know what I mean? Until we free our minds and really begin to start thinking and thinking. Okay, until we start doing that, we still stuck. And I'm not saying you still have to operate in the system that you're in.
No doubt.
You still have to operate in it. Okay, but you once your mind is free and you get rid of the indoctrination, which is hard to do because it's been planted since you got here. Matter of fact, even before you got here.
Right.
Before you got here, remember the cow and the calf? Okay, so our parents were taught the same things, and what did they do? They taught us mostly the same things, and then it's like we chip our own kids. We chip our own kids. We talking about a chip. We talking about what do we do? What do we carry?
That's tough.
We carry this around all the time.
Chill, man.
We carry this around all the time, and then what do we do? Soon as the kid about what? Couple months. Couple months. 1, 2. First thing we do is we hand them a chip. We chip them. We chip them.
Yeah.
We do it ourselves
because everything in our society is more and more watered down. And right now I'm specifically talking about a lot of parenting.
Yes.
Parenting has become watered down.
Oh man.
People don't want to parent their kids. You would rather, like you said, give them a chip. Here, little Timmy, little Johnny.
Take
here,
this.
watch this. You don't know what he watching. You don't know what button he pressed. And even if you do, you got to take the time out to
spend time.
Yeah.
Spend time with your kids.
That's just like, that's heavy.
That's what
heavy,
make it
man.
so deeper
That's
there is,
heavy.
and there's a lot there,
Yeah,
man.
a whole
man,
lot.
there.
Oh,
But
a whole
one of
lot.
the main things, and I ain't saying this for every household, but one of the main reasons is because how many 2-parent households is there?
Right.
So that cell phone, you need somebody else to watch your kids sometime.
That's deep.
And we don't got villages as much anymore too. So it's like
You see how the system is designed to break us down?
That's in my head. When you ain't got the village, you ain't got the parent.
The
So
village,
now-
bro. That's super heavy.
So now what do you got to do though, brother Dad?
But hold on, brother Jace, because brother
there.
Dad said, how many 2-parent households is there?
Not
many. But for the 2-parent households that there are,
Come on.
both parents gotta work nowadays. Both parents gotta work.
That's tough too.
So now if both parents is working,
Yeah, that's true.
who's left with the kid?
That's why the Think King mentality has to become a part of this movement.
Yeah.
People got to gravitate more towards it because now when you think king, your priorities change.
Yeah, bro.
What's important?
Yeah.
This is more important than my job.
Yeah.
Spending this hour, 2 hours,
Come
you know
on.
what I mean?
Come on.
That becomes a
Come on.
priority.
Come on.
Making sure I pray. Making sure I read my word once a day, even if it's just a chapter or 2.
Hey, keep going, man.
Yeah.
I'm hitting them all. Keep going.
Certain stuff
Hit
got
them
to be a
all.
priority.
Yeah.
Because it's a journey.
Yeah.
It's a journey. I was
It
talking
is.
to my pops yesterday, and I explained to him
That's good.
on my individual journey. I'm a slow walker, but guess what? I'm on the right road. Some people want to sprint and run, bro. You going the wrong way.
You just gonna get
the road to righteousness is this way, bro. You sprinting this way.
Direction over speed, bro.
Direction over speed, fam.
direction over
And the
speed.
dopest part about it is we could all be on the same road, moving at a different pace,
absolutely.
moving at a different speed.
That's what's
you should.
beautiful
That's the
about
dopest
it.
part about it.
is.
That's what's
You don't have. I don't have to
beautiful
be
about
at Brother Dad's speed. I don't have to be at Brother B's speed. They don't have to be at my speed. But guess what?
There's a lane
We
for
all on the same road,
Ooh.
and it's the road to righteousness.
Ooh.
That's why it's a marathon, man. We
not a
each
sprint.
got a
So you
pace. You know what I mean?
go
There
at
ain't no
your pace.
competition.
Right.
We all going to the same place though, and the victory lies within you just finishing the race. It ain't about the time you finish. It ain't about the pace. It ain't about that.
No,
it's about
but-
you getting there.
No, but we have been programmed, people. We've been programmed. And what do I mean by that?
I know.
It's always a competition.
Right.
Everything is a competition.
you wanna make it.
Everything is a competition. This is that box, or this is part of that cage that the bird is in. And
that's
we
that
the bird.
enemy. That's that enemy infiltrating your thinking patterns.
Man, come on.
Hey.
And that's honestly why, if you look at other cultures, and when you look at melanated people, okay, we go against each other because we've been throughout slavery. We've been taught to be pitted against each other. If I'm eating, I can't let you eat because you're gonna take off of my plate, and I can't let that happen. So we don't come together. When you talk about it takes a village, it used to be a village. It used to be. I remember growing up here, and our neighbor to the right, and our neighbor across the street, and our neighbor across the street. They were older parents. They were even older than my parents.
Right.
And they would get on the phone and say, "Did you know such and such is out there, and he did this and he did that?"
I got a couple beatings from that, man. Doing that, man.
Yeah.
That's bringing back flashbacks.
Hey, and that's real.
That's dope, though.
That's real.
We need
because
that back.
that's why our area was safe. It was safe for us to be outside at night and playing in the parking lot because people was looking out and people was we so caught up in this whole snitching thing.
Yeah.
What? So you telling me if something going on in my neighborhood where I live at and I seen it, I shouldn't say nothing about it?
Not something normal, something serious.
A burglary, a shooting.
Somebody got robbed. Anything.
This is my neighborhood. I live here.
Yeah.
So you saying it's something wrong with me because I want my neighborhood where I live at to be safe?
Gotta unchain these brains.
Come on, man.
And once you do that, we don't need a village no more. We got a kingdom to stand behind. We got a kingdom standing behind us. So that village stuff, that's only so small. The kingdom's great and big. And the unity within that is much more.
Whoa.
But even with that too, like when you think about that, like the neighborhood stuff, I think it's even bigger than that. Just, people are afraid to tell and stuff. There's just a disconnect anymore where like, well, it's the word says it. People, men will become lovers of themselves and self-righteousness and stuff like that.
What you saying that people just don't care?
People just don't care, bro. It's and sometimes I feel
They
fall
immune to
victim.
it.
You know what I mean?
It's
Between
like it's
that
normal.
and like just look at the disconnect between like I'm guilty and I be like mad because like, bro, why not talk to my sister today? Why not talk to my brother within 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Like what's going on? Like there ain't no resentment, there ain't nothing wrong with us. But why ain't we speak? There's just this disconnect and it's just like, nah, we got to do better, but that's when intentionality got to come in play. You just got to make the call. When you think about somebody, just make the call.
That's the think king mentality,
That's
bro.
it.
Like that.
Because that's so deep. Because that's me too.
Yeah.
That's me too,
I assume
bro.
it's a lot of us. Raise your hand if it's some of y'all out there too.
Yeah, that's me too. Like why haven't I talked to? Why haven't I called? Why haven't I text or what? Man, it's that individuality.
Yeah.
It's promoted in our society, in the system.
Yeah.
Because they know, the powers that be know, if the people come together,
It's over
it's
for us.
over.
Yeah.
It's over. So we got to keep them individualized. We got to keep them separated. Not like this, but like this. If we keep them like this, and that's even with people that you love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The people that you, your family.
No, not even no hatred towards them.
Right.
Not
No,
nothing. Just ain't reach out and stuff.
Come on, man.
But that's us though. That's our intentions, and we got to just put that in motion. Like
you're
you know
right.
what I mean?
You're
Obviously,
right.
we fall
Accountability.
victim. Yeah, we fall victim to the things out here. Obviously, but
We're breaking out of it. Though.
we are.
That's
these chains being broke.
That's the whole point here.
Yeah.
We trying to break out of it, man.
The dope part about it is being honest with yourself.
You
know
got
what I'm
to.
saying?
You can't grow without
a
it.
lot of people ain't like that though, brother Dan.
Truth.
Stuff come up, then they'll make an excuse. Yeah, it's somebody else's fault. It's well, he ain't called me.
So I
ain't calling. Yeah, boys be doing that.
No,
bro.
that's real, and you're so right. And I don't know, bro. I just been in so many different places and spaces where God just been giving me so much revelation and perspective on things where. Bro, I just and it's not no arrogant manner or nothing like that, but bro, I really see like the self-awareness within myself anymore, bro. And it can be a bad thing sometimes, because sometimes you back yourself and you just think less of yourself, because just knowing the standards and knowing more what God called us to be, sometimes you like when you see yourself not living up to that, you look in the mirror. But that's a good thing that you can look in the mirror and you don't walk past the mirror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To look in the mirror and be like, I need to do more, I need to do better. And it's not in a manner of being perfect, but it just, again, you got to be ambitious and want more for yourself.
You striving for perfection.
And that's it.
Yeah, I mean?
It's the seed looking to be a tree. The seed can't be happy and complacent and stagnant when it sprouts from the ground.
Right.
Until it produces fruit, it has not reached its fulfillment.
Full potential.
Yeah, I mean, that's the word.
potential.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
and then, bro, it's just so much, and it's glory to God that He's revealing these things and He's allowing it to be it's like compelling to other people, that type of light, and I just see Him working within me and then people around me.
Yeah.
It's just a blessing, bro.
Gotta continue to enjoy the process.
You do, bro,
because the process with the kingdom walk, it's never going to
It's
end.
never gonna end.
Until we are spirit.
Come on,
until
bro.
this flesh is gone. The journey never ends. So it's just like, okay, the more you know, the more you got to do.
That's why it's so important to know, though, to
Right,
know who
right.
you are, whose you are, and to be in the right soil, bro. Going back to Tony, bro, we're all different seeds, but being in the firm soil that he left us, bro, It's so much flourishment. And then you think about things. Can we touch on the Tony Strong Foundation event for a second?
Hold on. Before we go there, we go there next. But y'all see, I was over here quiet.
Okay.
Because y'all boys said some stuff, man. And while you talking, we're in, I know it don't seem like it, but we really in two different generations. Now, seriously, me and brother Jace is in one, and Dez is in the next one after behind us. Even if he's at the top part of that next generation, and we at the lower end of our generation, it's still two different generations. And this is and why I'm saying that is because if you notice when we having a discussion and when we talking and when we parting, me and brother Jace, we come from a certain direction, and brother Dez, we I don't want to say what we're saying is negative, but it could be construed as negative because we're talking about the world. We're talking about the world and what's happening.
That's how I lived longer than me.
Right. So we're talking about it, and the longer you live, the harder it is to change what you've been accustomed to. The harder it is. So what I've noticed, and this just hit me, the Holy Spirit just hit me with this
right now. I know what you're about to say, and God, this is why.
The Holy Spirit just gave this to me just now when I was sitting here quiet listening to them. So me and brother Jace, we from a slightly different generation, and we talk about it a slightly different way. And it might be construed as negative because the world is negative, and we're talking about the things that are taking place in the world. Right. But every time we do that, brother Dez comes back with the positive and the spin on it to bring us back to say, I'm getting chills as I'm talking right now. Brother Dez spins it back, and that's that youth. That's that youth. And here's where I'll prove it. Acts 2 verse 17. In the last days, God says, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions. Your older men will dream dreams. Listen to that. Listen to that, man. So you got to understand what's happening. Now listen. Don't put me and brother Jason in our caskets just yet.
No, we good.
Not at all. We got juice, but see, we need him.
Right.
We need this.
That's right.
Yeah. We need this youth right here, and I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
We have more wisdom because we have more life, but the youth. Combined with the wisdom, on top of with the more wisdom, and then with the most wisdom. Come on, man.
That's where you get
Y'all
change.
don't see it?
That's where you get the positive results. But everybody needs each other in order for the thing to happen.
No. But what if I was jealous of him? What if I was jealous of him? What if I felt some type of way towards him because he going out and he getting stuff done and I ain't moving how he moving? And that's how we be thinking, though.
Well, we have to understand, Brother B, that if we call ourselves kingdom citizens, our thought patterns, we have to knowing is half the battle, right? So when the enemy comes and it's a negative thought in our brains, we have to immediately know this is the enemy because the kingdom of heaven don't operate with anything negative, demonic, or hatred or jealousy.
Fear,
we have to know if I call myself a kingdom citizen, those type of thought patterns can't enter into my brain.
That's good,
man.
That's good.
Yeah, once you check yourself with that, like, hold on, even if you catch yourself hating or a little bit jealous, like, whoa.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, whoa.
That's familiar.
And I say that because I had a conversation with our father yesterday about this. Immediately in your brain, you got to rebuke that in the name and the blood of Jesus because that's not from the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
He didn't give us a spirit of fear. He didn't give us a spirit of hatred, of jealousy, none of those negative things. We got to know immediately that that's demonic and that's not from the kingdom of heaven.
And just like you said, rebuke it, bro. And don't try to justify Like don't be like Eve in the garden trying to entertain that thought, like that serpent.
It. That's the word.
Just leave it there, bro. No, like, nah, that don't belong here, and walk away from it. And because they're going to come, those thoughts are going to come, the temptations, whatever. It's all bound to come. He promises that. But when you know this don't belong, like you said, God ain't give us a spirit of fear. He ain't give us a spirit of envy. He ain't give us a spirit of hate.
No.
So when it comes upon you, you got to be like, what is this?
Yeah.
What?
And when you rebuke it in the name and the blood of Jesus,
come on.
Hey, that name and that blood of Jesus and that rebuking is, hey, that's some powerful stuff.
It's done. It's done.
Hey, yeah, it's done, bro. It's done. Once you say it and believe in it sincerely in your heart, man, listen.
Hey, shout out Tone, man. Shout out Tone for putting us at this table and putting this collaboration together, this unity, this brotherhood.
No doubt.
Man.
No doubt, man.
This balance is, like you said, Brother B, this balance, it was written, bro. It was written, bro. It couldn't be no more perfect, bro.
Right.
It's so crazy you say that because I got a revelation of that recently from the Spirit. And
that's deep.
And it discouraged me a little bit because I'm like, dang, like, being that person amongst the older group, it's like, it's hard sometimes, but I'm so thankful because y'all are receptive to it. But I could talk to a whole different group in the same generation and they'll shoot my visions down as if they are just dreams. You know what I mean?
But that is exactly how it's supposed to work. We dream in the dreams, you see in the vision. Now you got both together. You got them both together, bro.
It's reality now.
It's real. It ain't no dream no more.
Yeah.
But that youth that you have, that go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Let's go. Let's move. Because all the stuff that you've been doing, bro, and I say that because this is full transparency. Sometimes I be wanting to move how he move.
Yeah.
I do. Man, and sometimes I procrastinate. And I put things off.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't alone.
And the youth, and see, when you are younger, you got more energy. The world hasn't beaten you down as much, so you still are
enthusiastic.
You still have hope and belief, and you're ready to make moves. But then when you get the combination of the two, where the dreams and the visions of the dreams of the older men and the visions of the younger men come together,
and you put the heavenly kingdom first,
there's the reality.
It's
the reality.
There you go, though. And that's the thing, too, though, because once I left Egypt, bro, I wasn't going back, bro.
Right.
I ain't feel like I needed to. I didn't feel like I was going to be better off
you
there.
You felt set free.
Yeah, I mean, and I didn't feel like, I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be difficult. But once I was introduced to God, bro, because I left Egypt before I knew God, and you know, I'm being, you know, figurative, but shout out to Tone, bro. This is where, you know what I mean, it get deep, because shout out to Tone for leading me to this table and just giving me the opportunity and what's the word I'm really looking for? Just showing me, bro. Just let go. It gave me a whole different purpose, bro.
That's the word.
It gave me a whole different purpose.
This is part of all of our purposes.
Absolutely. But seeing Brother B go through what he went through, and you know, we talk about you know, the times of vulnerability, bro. But it was bigger than that. It was the strength, bro. It wasn't the fact that you was able to come to work 5 days a week, bro. It was stuff like that. It was the fact that you were able to pray and have faith. It was that you was able to come in there with smiles or just have energy, bro. It was the fact that you was in your right mind, stuff like that. Like, and there's nothing that you can tell me that say you did that on your own.
Right.
You couldn't even try to.
Right.
No. If you did, I'll laugh at you, bro. I'm serious because I seen God work in a different manner, bro, throughout those times.
You took the words out of my mouth, Brother Dez. You witnessed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You witnessed it.
That's
it's
why
different when you witness. When you witness something.
Hey, cuz, listen. Hey, 2 words. Witness goes 2 ways. Witness goes 2 ways. You could witness to somebody. You could witness to him.
Right.
And I think that's probably what I did to him. And as he did to me too. Because I witnessed some things from him. So that witness is, okay, I'm witnessing to another person, and you don't have to talk when you witness. Even your actions is better than you talking, for real. If somebody can witness you, you could be a witness to a person witnessing you.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that's good.
You could be a witness
right.
to somebody who is witnessing you.
Y'all witnessing each other.
Man, listen,
Come on,
bro.
glory.
And that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
That's the way it's supposed to go. Like we talked about, the race is not won by the swift or the fast, but he that endures to the end.
That's it.
And it don't matter when you get there, you going in the right direction.
That's all that matters.
Hey, man, if you running fast, but you running in the wrong direction, you just gonna get to the destination you don't want to get to faster.
Don't get nowhere real fast.
That's all.
And you wasted a whole bunch of energy.
Come
a whole
on,
bunch
bro.
of time.
Come on, bro.
We talked about this. I talk
Hey,
about this a lot with teenagers that I talk to. Listen, man, you have to understand that this is a marathon. And if I put some numbers on it, a marathon is 26 miles, okay? All right, that's a 26-mile marathon. So now I'm sitting here, I'm 45, you sitting there, you 15. Okay, I'm on mile 15 right now in the marathon. It's 26 miles. I'm on mile 15. You just starting. You at the starting line.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if I got a walkie and I give you a walkie, now I can hit you and tell you, hey, at mile 2, man, go right. Don't go left. If you go left, it's gonna take you all the way back to the starting line again. So go right. Or I can hit you, at mile 5, there's a big pothole in the middle of the road, bro. Don't fall in that ditch. Go around it. I'm giving you lessons. How am I giving it to you? Because I already was at mile 2. I already was at mile 5. I was there already. So now I'm giving you the game to make your race easier. Not that it's going to be totally easy, because it's a marathon.
No
it's
doubt.
going to be a little bit tough.
Yeah.
But I'm here to make sure that your race ain't as hard as mine was.
Yeah.
But if you take me out, if you take me away and you ain't got no walkie, you got to run the marathon yourself. You got to go through everything on your own. So, and that's what happens when dads get shot and get killed, or dads go to prison. Yeah. Now they can't tell them about the marathon and teach them and show them and hit them on the walkie and say, yo, bro, go this way, don't go that way.
Brother D, that's good.
That's
awesome.
To be more perspectual and spiritual about it, I think a hindrance sometimes is, and this society, the elder person who's giving advice to the other person, the younger person who's telling them about what's going to happen on mile 2. They're not connected to the spirit often.
Yeah.
So now they're telling them things that they believe.
Yeah.
And it's only strictly for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this and that's a hindrance sometimes, because sometimes,
huge.
you know what I mean? It'll have somebody in a misdirection. It'll have somebody running the wrong play.
Absolutely.
And it might have worked for you. Or it might have not, and you think that they don't need to do that because it didn't work for you.
Right.
So now, bro, there's so much there. That's why the counseling from an elder or anybody younger, whatever, it got to be from someone who's connected to the spirit.
Amen.
That's why this right here is so powerful, because we all follow the spirit.
Amen.
I don't think any of us is going to tell us anything that we just believe.
Right.
Sure, we advise each other, but I don't think none of us is moving off until we understand it's confirmed by the spirit.
And even if we do, I'll use myself as an example, because I'm searching. I'm searching for the truth, and I'm looking in a lot of different areas. So if I say something that I might not even necessarily believe, but I heard it and I said, wait a minute, it made me think. It made me think, that's all. And I share it with my brothers. Okay, because they're connected to the spirit, it's going to let them know, hey, he might be a little bit off on this. Sure. He might be a little bit off on this one. But go think and go now. See, what all I did was plan, hey, go research it. Go check it out. This is something that I heard, and in my brain it was like, yo, I got to look into this. This sound a little bit like this could be true. Sure. So when that happens and you give it to somebody else, not saying that this is what you stone-clad believe, but it's just causing us to think. And that's all. That's really That's all we want people to do, is to begin to think for themselves. Think king.
I'm about to say,
search
not just
out.
think though. We gotta think king, man.
So,
Right. King.
So and that's the premise and the basis for all of this, man.
And really understand what think king really, really represents, man. It
Man,
represents you thinking nothing but positive thoughts, nothing but surrounding yourself with positivity, because it's either positive, like energy. You got me and brother Daz was we was partying before we even was partying, and if I'm a person who's just a positive person, but I'm around people with negative energy, now God got you around those people with that negative energy, but at that given time, that's why you gotta pick your atmospheres that you're around, because sometimes being so positive, you're going to be around negative people, but you're around them for a reason, and that's to bring positivity to them. But at the same time, you might, this specific day, your positivity might need a little charge. You might be on a 50% tank of positivity, but now you around 10 times the amount of negative people. You gotta choose. This ain't the season for me to be around them right now. You gotta pick.
That's called wisdom.
That's that wisdom.
That's called wisdom.
That's major, especially for people in leadership, because you're always going to deal with people of like negative influences or negative, emotions or whatever the case may be that need help, people in need.
Right.
And if you don't come around circles like this and get recharged, man, you're gonna be bumped
Yeah,
out.
you gotta get recharged.
You gotta have people pouring in your cup as you pour in others.
Absolutely.
You have to.
That's
dope.
It can run out.
Yeah.
It can run out. It can run out.
Yeah.
So, with all that being said, man, that when you said energy, that's what all of this is. There's low vibration energies, and then there's high vibration energies. And you want to, and see, I want to connect people, because there's been a disconnect between what we would call spiritual people or religious people, and then people who talk about the energies, and it's the same. It's the same thing. It's just people are using different words to talk about it and describe it.
Yeah.
When we talk about, religious folks might talk about fear and anxiety and hatred. All these are low level vibrations, low level energy. That's what that. They would call them spirits.
Spirits energy though.
So right. The division. See, there's more division right there. A person who's in the church might call them demonic entities or demons, but a person who ain't in the church might just call it energy. But really, it's the same thing.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Hey,
Straight
man,
thumbs down on that, man. That division stuff, man.
See, see how we gotta bring that together.
Come on.
We gotta bridge that and understanding. And see, this is what me doing the research and seeking that I'm doing is helping me to gain a better understanding of what the division is and why it's there.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand it. A person who ain't in church, what you talking about, demons and all that? Man, you saying the same thing, bruh. When you talk about a low level energy, that's the same thing. And then you got higher level energy, which is love and purity and health and healing and good
Sound
vibes.
like the kingdom of heaven to me.
Hey, bro.
Hey, that's what it sound like to me.
It's just we gotta get rid of the division. The division is what is killing us, man. And the lack of knowledge and the division. But the division will go away when you gain the knowledge.
Absolutely.
When you get the knowledge and you get an understanding of what this really is. Because again, I go back to December of 2019 when I saw deception. Deception. That's what this is. We have been deceived since the beginning. Since the beginning, we've been deceived. We've been lied to. There's information that's out there that we don't know about. We're not privy to. They're not going to give it to us. We got to go out and seek and search for it.
You know the dopest part about it? I just read it in the word. everything will come to the light.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The future can't happen. Jesus ain't even going to return until the truth is out there. Now, whether you go get it and receive it and seek it, that's on you as an individual.
No doubt.
But it's out there. The truth. Hey, man, that's deep, man.
Hey,
that's
real
deep,
quick,
man.
we got to get to the foundation.
Got to.
But first, we did a 14-day fast. We did a 14-day fast during our time away. Me and Brother Jace, we committed the 14 days. Brother Daz, he committed the 14 days, but then he also did another 7 days after the 14. So and the fast was for us to become more unified. The fast was for us to receive more revelation, to receive more guidance, to become even more one with God and with each other. You know, and there was some stuff that I learned about fasting. See, and I was doing it wrong. See, I would stop eating, you know, but if you just stop eating, all you doing is you want to die. That's all that is. If you start, you ain't fast if you do it from. And I used to do it this way. And if you start it this way, that's fine. But you have to elevate, and you have to keep going, and you have to keep moving forward. So I used to fast sometimes, or I would call it a fast, and it would be from, I don't know, 7 at night to 7 in the morning, or 7 in the morning to 7 at night, 12 hours. And, you know, it was a lot of concentrating and thinking about food. Why I can't eat. See, that ain't really fasting, because you have to do more than just deny the flesh of what you want to have.
You gotta replace it.
You gotta replace it. You gotta replace it. And what you replace it with is talking to God, praying, reading your word. You have to replace the physical meal with spiritual meals. So if you're not doing that, then the fast is not going to have the power or the results that's needed, because God said those that worship me must worship me in spirit and in truth. And the way that you worship in spirit is deny the flesh. Yeah. If you deny the flesh, your spirit will intensify, because you're denying the flesh. And another thing I learned is how bad food got us. Food got us. We're supposed to be eating to live, but we live to eat.
And eat to die.
Hey, man, shout out to y'all boys, man. Shout out to y'all boys, man. Hey, man, shout out to young Ray too.
Hey, shout out Ray, man. Hey, Ray, shout out, bro.
Real talk, bro.
Yeah.
You got a huge impact on this, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
That's another one of them young. That's another one of them young folks that's even younger.
Yeah.
Hey, we need him.
Yeah, that thing. Just learning, going through that journey with you guys, man. Understanding that everything we need for nourishment of our bodies, God created it out the ground, out the earth.
Yes.
So as we learn that and we start doing that, man, I lost like 17 pounds in less than 14 days.
Yeah, man.
Just by eating what I was eating and
all the garbage, the toxins.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
17. We all lost.
Yeah.
I lost about 12.
Yeah.
I lost about 12 or 13.
Yeah, 12 for me. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
It was definitely so dope, man. Just seeing like how much more in tune you could be with the spirit and your own self.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like really
this
having
works.
discipline and obedience. Yeah, really having that
yeah.
obedience and a sound mind too. Like obviously there's more to it. You know, there should be lack of entertainment. There's so many different ways where you get more increasing of power of the fast. You know what I mean?
The fast is denying your flesh.
At the end of the day, that's why I was going to read this quick scripture real quick.
Denying your flesh, because I also was off Facebook during that time too. I wasn't on social media at all either.
That's good too.
You know, and that made a difference.
Absolutely.
Because it's denying your flesh. Some people, it might be watching TV. It might be. I'm an avid basketball lover. Maybe in the future I won't watch basketball. I'll deny my flesh.
Yeah.
I'll deny my flesh of watching that. It's anything that's going to deny your flesh to get you closer and more in tune with the Spirit of
that's,
God.
That's why they was in the
before you
wilderness.
Before you read that, that's the other half. While you deny your flesh, you want to increase your spirituals.
Right.
You know
You
what I
have
mean?
to.
Spiritual awareness, spiritual everything for your
Ooh,
spirit. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
read that
real
thing,
quick,
bro.
real quick.
We gonna
We
wrap it up.
always read Romans 12:2, right? Which is do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. But 12:1 says, and the section starts off as a living sacrifice. A living sacrifice.
Wow.
Therefore,
whoa.
A living sacrifice.
Hold up, man. Sacrifices you supposed to kill, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
But
sir.
how those two go together?
Yep,
You a
yep.
living sacrifice. God damn.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. I hear me too.
Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. It's your true and proper worship. Come on, bro.
Oh, hold up.
Come on.
Because, yeah, man, my brain and my mind, he put it how he put it. So we talked about in the garden in chapter 1 and chapter 2, everything was perfect. There wasn't no praise and worship. There wasn't no fasting. There wasn't no choir. There wasn't no preachers. There wasn't none of that. And God said, this is good.
Right.
So all this stuff didn't come that we got now. All this stuff didn't come until after the fall.
Right.
So your true worship is what? your true worship is what? Go read that, just that one part again.
Hey, listen. Yeah, offering your body as a living sacrifice
is your true worship.
That's what's holy and pleasing to God. And it's not to say the other ones ain't, because this is Paul talking. You know, Paul's a man of grace, so he get it. He get it. But look, so that's what leads us into do not conform to the pattern of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve that God's will is his good, pleasing, and perfect will. That whole context is so important when you throw it together. Because we talk about transforming and being transformed by the renewing of your mind. We talk about that often, right? That's what thinking is, really. To be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that's when you start thinking.
Right.
But how you can't just do that at an instance. You got to offer your body. So your flesh has to die.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying none of us is there where we live in flesh. Come on. We live it. We live in it. But when you do the fast, when you do that in prayer, you get more in tune with the spirit.
That's that access. That's that spiritual access we looking for.
Your power.
Hey, man.
Man, that is your true worship. And you wonder why the enemy, and I ain't even gonna say the enemy. You wonder why
we gotta stop giving him credit.
Yeah, you right. You wonder why we, based off of what I just said earlier, we supposed to be eating to live, but we live to eat. And now that makes perfect sense to me because your body is the true worship of God.
Wow.
The enemy doesn't want us to worship God in any way. And the true worship is through your body. So of course he's going to attack your body. You got two ends of the spectrum. There's some people that ain't got no food and can't eat nothing. They're starving to death. They're truly starving. And then you got gluttonous people on this side that just eat and eat and eat and eat. And that's America. That's America. When you look around and you look at people and the obesity and people who are not in good shape and all the fast food chains and cause we live to eat. We don't eat to live. And what Brother Dez just read about your body being the real true worship to God, man, that's heavy to me.
Yeah.
That's super heavy stuff, man.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's dope.
You get so much power within it. I learned even just these years of changing my appetite and then really eating things that really like just knowing it's nutritional to you, but don't really please your
Your
taste buds. It's like, but not nasty, but it's just like, this is different. And then the other day, like I drank coconut water and I was like, bro, I used to hate coconut stuff. And I was like, this ain't bad. And I rating the benefits of it, and I'm like,
coconut water, that's the real,
super.
That's the real deal.
You got your potassium in there, yeah, electrolytes. It's like it's all there. So
everything we need is
hey,
that stuff that tastes good usually ain't. It usually got something. Usually got a sprinkle or something ain't supposed to be in it.
But you realize as your appetite changes, and I think this is where your heart changes too. Your desires change. What you desire, you don't look for the things that taste good, but you look at the things that are good for you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because when you put that in your body, it brings life to your thoughts.
There you go.
It brings life to your thinking. Your thinking is life.
It all works together.
I'm serious.
It all works together.
We're about to go another hour.
So when we talking and we talk about deception, I just learned that H2O ain't the real water that we supposed to be consuming for what's inside of our body. Our cells is made of H3O2.
Right.
That's the real water that we supposed to be ingesting that goes straight to our cells and gives our cells vitality and help us with energy and
Yaki. Shout out to Yaki, man.
Yaki.
Shout out, big bro Yaki. Yeah.
Check it. Look it up yourself. H3O2. See what it is.
That's where you see what it is. Your fruits and veggies. Like
that's where the water is. That's where it's at in your fruits and your vegetables.
Yeah.
The real because it's compatible with our bodies. Because it grow out of the ground.
Before you get there, make sure you cut out the pop and the artificial.
Oh yeah. Got to get rid of that.
Get rid of that first, man. I know for some people it's hard. That's their bread and butter. But listen, just pray on that first.
I drink a ginger ale every blue moon, man. Canada Dry every blue moon.
Yeah, pray on that first, man. Ask for deliverance and that, and you'll get there.
Start there. Start there.
Hey, we can't end this episode without talking about the Tony Strong Foundation.
Absolutely.
We gotta touch that real quick. We gotta touch that.
The Tony Strong Foundation second annual hoop extravaganza was off the meters again, man. Listen, year one, we had a lot of people there, a lot of adults and kids. Year two, man, the kids was off the meters. There was so many kids
and
there,
that's
man.
what it's about.
It was
it's
beautiful.
About the kids.
It was beautiful. And you know, they interviewed us. Shout out my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law. They got this giant kind of like poster that you can take to wherever we go, whatever event that we have. I forget the exact name of it, but it tells Tony's story on it. And it's probably about, I say, 7 feet high, probably about 7 feet. And it tells the story. And, you know, this was the first time that I saw it. They unveiled it at this.
Oh, yeah? You ain't see it till then?
Okay. Yeah. This was the first time I saw it. They unveiled it at the extravaganza, and I'm looking at it and I'm reading it and I'm like, man, it's almost bittersweet, if that's a term that I could use, because I did an interview with the Mon Valley Independent while they was there. I believe that's who it was. And like I told them, it's hard because my son is not here. He's not physically here. And, you know, this is his senior year of high school. He turned 18 this year, last month. So a lot of milestones that were missed, you know, that he did not physically get a chance to participate in. And that's, you know, you think about it, he won't get married. You know, there won't be any grandkids. You think about that stuff in the flesh because you live in the flesh,
right?
You know, but then I looked around and I saw the food and I saw the friends and the family and the music and the kids, and I thought about his legacy. I thought about him. I thought about, you know, all the good that his life has brought to this earth. You know, and the boroughs that were there. There was about 5 different community of kids in this one place. And if this individual didn't live and didn't pass, this wouldn't be happening right now. None of this would be here. None of this would have taken place, man. You know, there was shout out Jesse James. Jesse James came through again this year. You know, I coached him when he was younger, and you know, there was an individual that our pastor brought, a young man. He was in 8th grade, I want to say. And we talked to him. Me and Brother Daz was talking to him, was out on the grill, and he was there, and he was there to not do, he was there to just maybe get some hours for school and whatnot, some outreach or whatever. And Pastor told him, you know, listen to Minister Cook. He'll tell you what you need to take or what you need to bring. So we start talking to the young man. And, you know, we asked him, what did he do? He said, I play football. We talked a little bit. We asked him, you know, well, what you want to do? And he said, I want to hopefully play professional football one day. So I look over and Jesse's standing there, and I said, well, this guy right here, who I thought was in the NFL for 6 years, turns out it's 9 seasons already. And that blew my mind. Yeah. And I said, well, he's doing what you want to do right now. And then, you know, Jesse begins to start talking to him and explaining to him, you know, you got to do this, this, and that, because it's more than just athletic ability. There's a whole bunch of other things that have to fall in place for you to make it to that level. You got to sacrifice. And I'm just sitting back listening to the conversation like, whoa. And then it hit me. If my son wasn't born and didn't pass away, these two individuals, 114, 128, wouldn't be having this discussion right now, man.
That's what the Spirit just told me.
Come on, bro.
Tony's life brings life.
That's it, bro.
To life.
That's it, bro. Yeah, bro.
Tony's life. Tony's life brings life to life.
That's all I heard when he was saying all the things that Tony won't be able to do. But I was thinking like, well, probably, well, not probably, but he might not. But 1,000 other people would be able to do those things,
and that's
bro.
the light.
And I know that don't sit well sometimes, but that's how we gotta see it,
that's
bro.
What it is.
It's the sacrifice.
Saved so many souls, bro. So many souls is going to enter into the kingdom because of that young man.
And they might not even know it. Yeah,
put my hand up.
Yep.
I'm probably number one.
Come on, bro. But a lot of people won't even know the impact, and it's okay for them not to. But us, we gotta live there and understand.
Yeah.
That. When he seen that and he said it. It just hit, bro. I just sat on my heart for like 24 hours, really just sat there. And I'm like, because I ain't the first time I seen it, bro. I ain't the first time I seen it. And I'm thinking about the bodies that come into church. I'm thinking about people I come in cahoots with. And if that didn't happen, I would not. I said it before. If it wasn't for the character there wouldn't be no character here. Bro.
That's dope, man. That's so true. That's so true,
bro. I walk within that, and I really I own that, bro. Like I don't take that lightly. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bro, Jesus died for us, bro. Tony made a sacrifice for people out here too, bro.
Yeah.
If you understand that, you acknowledge it, you gotta live with that type of stuff, bro.
So now you gotta live how he would want you to live.
Man,
hey man,
bro,
chill.
That's my perspective.
I love this stuff.
Hey, the shout out to the Tony Strong Foundation. Shout out to the board. Shout out to my wife. Oh my goodness! If y'all knew, if y'all knew, man, that's all I can say. If y'all knew, shout out to her. Shout out to South Allegheny High School. For allowing us to use their facility. Again, shout out to all the people that came and you know, purchased gear, purchased food. Shout out to DJ Poosa, man. Shout out to DJ Poosa, man, for coming through and doing this thing. And countless numerous people. Shout out to Coach Veda Epps, man, you know, for running the clinic. It's just everybody just been coming together, man, and that's what this kingdom movement is about. That's what Tony's Table Talk is about. That's what the Tony Strong Foundation is about. That's what the Think King brand is about. Yeah. That's what it's all about, man.
Hey, chill. You know what I heard through all that? it don't stop. And it ain't gonna stop. That's what I get geeked up when I think about it. Don't stop, man. Just keep rolling more and more and more, man.
We said it. I saw a picture of the No Limit 1998 No Limit Master P in there, man.
Hey.
Ain't no limit.
Ain't no limit.
Ain't no limit to this.
I
man.
mean, it don't stop.
That's it, man. But
season 5.
Wow.
Season 2.
Slow down. Hey,
no.
Season 5 coming.
We jumping seasons. Yeah, we be there. We be there.
Hey, season 5. Yeah,
what's that gonna look like? What's that gonna
you see how my eyes got?
What's that gonna look like?
That for no reason.
It's gonna look like a new season.
Hey, what?
Season 5. Oh. Hey, and watch how fast we get there.
Oh,
watch how fast we get there, man.
Man, I ain't slip out by mistake. I was supposed to say that.
Season 5, man.
Hey, think about
it's
that.
Coming. It's coming.
But for now, season 2,
episode 5. Yeah.
And in this season, man, get ready. Y'all see the teas, man. Summer, spring, summer
man.
gear coming real
these
soon,
ain't just
man.
teas. Hold up, I gotta stand up.
I ain't gonna tease them with the shorts,
man. Hey, what? Hey, what?
Yeah.
Shorts very big.
Hey,
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah,
set,
the
man.
whole
Listen.
dip. The whole dip. I had to stand up on that one, guy.
Coming.
Hey, coming real soon. So
Coming.
be on your toes. Be on the lookout. Some other things in store too.
Yes,
We
sir.
moving, man. We move. Well, the spirit is moving.
That's
the spirit
it.
is
Yeah,
moving, man.
yeah.
We just
We got it.
following.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And
That's
we
all
appreciate y'all being a part of us.
Big time.
We a part of y'all. Y'all a part of us. And we going to continue to grow. We going to continue to make an impactful, positive change in this world, man. That's what it's about.
That's it, man.
Step by
So until
step,
next
seed
time.
by seed.
Yeah.
We love y'all. See y'all when we see you.
Season 2, episode 5.
Season 2, episode 5.
In the books.
We out.